Hello and welcome to Top of the World. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to some more creating something from nothing. So this is a light stand. It used to have one of these halogen, you know, with the big bulbs in it that was always blowing, or if you would move it when it was on, it would blow the bulb. Shite, expensive to run, didn't really put out that much light. I bought two of these odd, tiny, made in... No, I don't know. I don't know where they come from. But anyway, they were the cheapest LEDs I could buy. They work out about $5 each. So I bought these and they got stupid little leads on them. And I've had one bolted on the top of this like this. Right, which was just, it was okay. But I weren't really using them. So, what I've done today is I've got a bit of this bar, cut it to length, rounded it off, round it down. I'm going to do a really quick job of fixing that on there and then fixing these lights on here like this. So I've got two lights off the same stand. And the reason for that is I try and make it a challenge of mine for once a year to restore one of the cellar rooms. Can't be that simple, right? Depends what you got lying about, doesn't it? It really does depend on what you got lying about. Maybe it can be that simple. Wow, it is that simple. There, like that. Anything else I've got lying around? What's the chances of me having one of those lying? That's why I collect everything. Absolutely everything. So if we stick those two in there like that, and then we tape that to the upper pole. So the reason for making that up is we're about to embark in what is, I think it's the single nastiest remaining area in the building. Yeah, there's another one down there that's bad. Well, there's 4 or 5 rooms still that are bad, but this is the one that we're working on this year. And I think I've got all the materials to do it. So almost all of you are familiar with this room. This is my furnace room. We're now mid-April and all our dried wood stocks are running low. And as you can see, the boiler is out. It's not lit, at least not yet today. So we're on intermittent days, half days, quarter days for lighting this at the moment because we can live in the cold. And our total dry wood stocks resemble what's here. Okay? And I've moved that into there to empty this room. So this is a room that has been untouched since the day it was built. Now you can't see nothing. Right. Well, you can probably see about as much as me then. So that's why we've just made this. There. There's the old lights we just made. Right, well, we ain't made the lights, we just made the stand. Now, that helps us a lot. Okay, I'll try not to rabbit too much about where we are. So, these pipes up here are central heating pipes running to the far left corner of the building. This is what controls all the radiators in the left quarter, or left rear quarter. These pipes sticking from the wall. I should imagine once upon a time somebody had the idea of converting from wood to oil while it was still a school. These are temporary insulation panels up against windows that haven't been dealt with. And this is all damp. There's been at least one failed, poorly executed abomination of an attempt to fix the water pouring into this building during melt. The idea was good, the execution was terrible. Now, on the other side of my lovely chickens, and they are lovely chickens, you can see down there on the floor, when we focus properly, a large cast iron radiator, floor radiator. Interestingly enough, it resembles, or closely resembles, Victorian greenhouse heating pipes. So that heating element is already in the cellar, which is just as well, because if it wasn't, I wouldn't be able to get it down there, and I can't get it out. And there's no point in using it in the situation it was used in, because that was originally the changing rooms for the school. But by putting it down here, what it's going to allow me to do is circulate air and heat the entire woodroom. But most importantly, keep that wall dry and warm during the winter. That's the plan. And now everything is raw. So nothing is... See this up here? Right where the concrete ends. And you think the concrete's quite thick, you can see it there, look, and then it kind of ends there. Well, I'm not quite sure what that practice is called. And you'd think it's some sort of fibre, wouldn't you? No, that's wood. That's wood with a very fine concrete coating on it. Wood shavings. Anyway, so the floor is always dusting, the walls are always dusting, this is always dusting. I want to send the whole room white. Now, whilst we're in this room, if I turn these lights around, I'll show you something really scary. Okay, so this is cut off from the floor. You can see there's those pipes are not joined. This was the old heating mixer tank. It is a huge insulated steel tank with this very fine dress me up copper and wooden surround. And it's a pressure vessel. Right, so you can see that quite clearly. It's pressured. Was. Let me show you where that pipe comes out. This pipe goes under the floor here. Goes under the floor there. And comes up out the ground. Oh, I'm going to have to switch it light on. And comes up out the ground there. And connects into that. That is my return pipe for the furnace. So that's a return pipe. And that's connected and live to that. And then we have this pipe here, which has also been capped off, which used to connect to this pipe here, which has been altered with copper plumbing. So the plan would be reconnect this here into the top of the pump and have this pipe teeing in. If I do that and I turn that valve on and then we follow this pipe through there, through that hole, back into this room, it goes into there. What does that do? Well, that will recommission this tank, and this tank is a hot water holding tank. It was disconnected when the school was closed down because they only used one floor here for the workshop. The old boy that bought this, well, he weren't old when he bought it, it was my age. And he disconnected all that. Well, I want to reconnect it because I have a wood stove in the kitchen, potentially with a water jacket that is actually a 37 kilowatt heater, which is bigger or produces more kilowatts of heat than my main furnace. My main furnace produces 27 kilowatts of heat flat out. The potential water jacket around the stove upstairs produces 37. What am I going to do with that water? Well, I've got to pump it down here. Now I can reconfigure all these things so that everything that's making hot water goes into one box that then mixes and then gets put into the system, or I can just recommission that tank and send all hot water being produced from around the building into that one huge tank. That will all mix, and that's where the central heating will be fed from. So that was in commission when this was a school, when the school was fully heated. Well, slowly over the last few years, I've recommissioned most and added to of the radiators, the waterborne radiators that were in the school. So we need that. So as well as then fixing all the concrete and the holes, the plan in this room is to, let's put those lights back around, we don't need to be looking at that tank. The plan is this room is to cover up, board, insulate and concrete over the windows like we've done in the rest of the cellars. We don't need those. And then treat all the concrete with a treatment to stop it from dusting. And it is, well, it's a great example. I can go anywhere. How bad is it? Everywhere I touch, it will just disintegrate. Doesn't matter where I touch. Some of the nastiness down here, you don't even want to go poking about in that. So I have to preserve what's there for another 100 years. Okay, so we're going to treat the concrete. We're going to paint everything white. We know it's going to get damaged. We're going to paint everything white. And then here, this is the old timber chute. Timber comes down there, smashes onto there, goes on the table and gets stacked. I'm doing away with all of this. I'm going to change the angle on the chute so the wood comes down a lot easier. And then over here, already in this room, there is 2 of these huge sheets of steel. And these were definitely cut up from a diesel tank, or an oil tank. My intention is to use some of the other steel I've got from a tank that was taken out to weld some sides down here, weld these into a big V so that we can stack both sides so that all the wood comes down and goes there and gets hand stacked from there. Repair the insulation on the pipes. Once everything is white and that's then the wood thing is built there, we need some extra lighting in here and we need some power on the wall over there. Paint it all white, relay the pallets, fill it with wood and commission the heating. So that's our plan. So firstly, I'm going to pull this down. Let's see what's behind door number 1. Oh, that's not good, is it? So that's so worn there. You can see, oh, the cold air coming in from there. Unbelievable. Wow. At one point, this window here was used for putting the wood down. Door number 2. Even worse. So, not only do they let oodles amount of cold in, they're a weak spot in the building and they're a security risk. So we're going to be doing away with those. And what we've done in the other windows where we've not needed them is we've put a board up, put reinforced it in and then concrete backfilled, and then at some point they'll all be done on the outside. This stops water, stops cold air, stops the pressure of the snow busting through the windows, and this, I say, a security issue. I don't think that's, but there is, you know, you don't want anybody coming up from the cellar, is what I'm saying. So it's been a week, maybe 2 weeks. I don't know, I have a lot of projects on, but now it's time to get rid of this. So this is the old furnace that used to run the school. So this was installed in late 40s. I'm not quite sure how I got it here. It wasn't there, but given what I try and do, you can see how I've got, or had, a destroyed back. Before the back was destroyed, it was destroyed, and now it's destroyed some more. Anyway, how I got this here, I don't know. But I did. I moved it here in the corner that way. I have no idea. Just no clue. But it can't stay here. It's got to go up through a small hole. So I have to break it down. So that's what we're going to do. Yeah, before we can go any further, we need to have this out of this room. And the only way it's going out of this room is up. And I don't know what size that hole is. 2 feet by 2 feet? Yeah, maybe it's a 2 foot by 2 foot hole. I'd say that's about right. That has to go up there. So. And down here, which you can't see, is the door. It's full of concrete. I can't even lift the door. So I've got to break the concrete out so I can. And there's no winch. Under winch. Time for a cup of coffee now. Put some oxygen in below. Put some oxygen in my lungs. What a mess. We've got a right mess in there now. Again, and then this one it's too low. Yeah, I must have put it in there where I was. I'm not quite sure how it all works. Well, I'm quite sure. Now once again, I'll have to cut this one up smaller, and I'm probably going to have to cut that one up smaller as well, because it's not going to fit. And I'm not looking so mad. Anyway, and that's how that goes. So they must have put this in the cellar whilst building it. Hello? Did you wonder what was earth going on? It's me in a hazmat. Hazmats. Way the wrong size. So while I'm in this hazmat, I know you like a story. I like a story. I'm good at stories. This is way too small. You know what I mean? So, the first one is, I was talking to a young lady yesterday. He shall remain nameless. who's telling me about her experience about to go to university. She's kind of excited and maybe a little perplexed. So instead of arriving at university in the days where it used to be, where everybody just arrives and you know you meet who you meet, and now those that you're sharing a room with or a kitchen with or a toilet with or a block with, they all go on these chats and meet each other, and she's telling me about this. And she said it's interesting. So I said, well, what's interesting? She said, well, most of them appear to be gender fluid. Now, I know I've been in the forest for a little while, but I haven't been in the forest that long. So, gender fluid. Well, as I understand it, it's gender fluid is something you clean up. You know, you're about to announce in the throes of your passion that you're about to let go of your gender fluid. And then after you've let go of your gender fluid, you have to clean it up. But apparently, so I'm pretty sure that in my day, and since I'm still very much alive, it's still very much my day, gender fluid's bisexual, right? So if you were bisexual, you announced you're bisexual. No. So this must be doing something to do with the woks. I mean, I don't even really want to. Why do you live in the forest, Simon? Well, take a guess. Yeah, so a lot of these people that this young lady's going to be living with have announced pre-meeting that they're gender fluid. Okay. And anyway, so here we are in the cellar, and I've got some of the stuff out. Let me show you. So what have we got left? We've got this half barrel here, which is a little too heavy for me to be able to lift, and then we've got this, and this laid like that, or put it on a sack barrel, I can't get it through the doorways. It just won't go through the door. And then if I get to the bottom of the stairs, I can't lift it. So I'm going to have to chop this up a bit smaller to try and get some weight off it. I just can't. I can't do it. And then it's time to kind of clear up in here. So it's a bit dusty in here right now, but I'll show you where we're up to. It's gone. Everything's gone. It's very dusty in here. So I've got to start welding up the new chute the way I want it. But I'm trying now to get the room ready for sealing it up. I've got to stay out of it, it's just too dusty now. I'm going to leave that big tank in there. I've got an idea. I don't know how good my idea is going to be. But anyway, so that's the room empty. So for those that you don't know, there is a video, October or November, where you can only walk as far as I'm stood now in the dark, through the door. And all that wood's gone, and this is just what we have left. And I have just lit the furnace, because we're only, what's that? Oh, the broom. Because we're only lighting now in the afternoons for a bit of warmth in the evening and for water. This amount of wood here, this will last us maybe 2 or 3 weeks now, maybe a month. Because I'm only lighting the furnace a few hours. The temperatures are, we did have a spell of double digits, but we're back down in single digits now, and freezing overnight, -3, -4, -5, and 4, 5s and 6s through the day. So it's kind of normal for April, and sunshine and snow showers. The video's going to jump about a bit, because I've done so many different things, and I'm going to try and put it all into one video and catch you up on what's been going on. kicks on? Well, the yard's finally not only clear of snow, but the water is about finished running off of it for now, because the temperatures have dropped back down and the vehicles are out. So oh, you can even see the lawnmower out. The reason I get the lawnmower out is I had to get this sits in water, so I had to get it out in the dry. There we go. Obviously we've still got a lot of snow everywhere, but on the flats where I've cleaned it, where I've ploughed, where my packs of timber and everything is, see, this is something that we haven't managed to see since since November. It's just been completely buried. And these are all the timbers I've cleaned up for the new building. So it's really time to get the sheets off now, otherwise they start to sweat. You can see I've started to pull the sheets, and then in the next few days, when I fire up the old sawmill and get some of this dealt with. There we go. No snow. Look at that. How incredible is that? Very happy with that. We might actually end up somewhere on the right side of fully seasoned wood. So we can say now, season number 1 done. Winter, as you would, been seasoned all the way through a dry Arctic winter. Yes, it has. It's continuing to season now in spring. We'll get a summer out of it, and then we'll be fully seasoned and it can go down, and we'll do a moisture. Right, so underneath there, this is an old fuel oil tank, and some more of my, this is my collecting problem issue there. Just don't look at that, the steel below. Well, that's also a collecting problem issue. You're going to stop laughing now, Mark. Anyway, this down here now, that's going to be cut up and make part of the new chute to go down into the cellar. And there's all my kindling, the top's all cut up. There's crates and crates and crates of this. That's drying now. So I think we're all good. Yeah, I think we are all good. My faux pas with the scaffolding. So, as many of you all know, I took the top off and just left the bottom run because that's going to working. Well, bad idea. That's not gone well. Yeah. Looks worse than it is. So the integrity in the scaffolding was the full height scaffolding, and then the temporary roof I had coming across, and the snow would slide down the roof and then drop. Well, once I'd taken that down, the only thing that's holding this first level staging up is these horizontals are screwed into the uprights. Well, as the snow come down, as you can see, it just smashed entire sections off. So it's actually quite an easy fix. Like I say, it looks worse than it is, because we've done the upper building, we've restored all this, but from here down now we have to finish, and then we have to move around the corner onto that side elevation. The window that got smashed last spring, not this spring, is still smashed, and I've managed to survive all winter with that, knowing it was so we have to renovate these windows here. That's the other side of the machine shop. Yeah, how much gold did we catch? Probably loads. You see the way the water comes down here and creates these huge ruts. And I can see the gold glistening now. I don't know if the camera picks it up, to be honest. But anyway. Nice. Oh, shiny gold. I still don't know if the camera picks it up. but as I've said before, it's flour, can't do nothing with it. It's the black sand stays in the bottom and the flour sand the flour gold, it just floats away. Yeah, it's all our trenches there, look. They're all now dry. Look at that. How incredible is that? That's cutting in January, just a huge advantage. Looking good, looking very good. And this is all January, February stuff. Very happy with that. We might actually end up somewhere on the right side of fully seasoned wood. So we can say now, season number 1, done. Winter. As you would, been seasoned all the way through a dry Arctic winter. Yes, it has. It's continuing to season now in spring. We'll get a summer out of it, and then we'll be fully seasoned and it can go down. And we'll do a moisture. Right, so I hope I've done a reasonable job in editing this together to make some kind of sense.
Fuel oil tank.
Yeah, my beard.
And some more of my...
Might have been the result of a flash fire explosion
issue.
Fireball.
Just don't look at that. The steel below.
Incident.
Well, that's also a collecting problem.
I may or may not have had. And anyway,
stop laughing now, Mark. Anyway, this down here now, that's going to be cut up and make part of the new chute to go down.